Hello everybody. Please let me know if you are here and can hear me. Okay. Hi Lisa, how are you? Tell me, do the cats look like that they are they in focus, or do they need to be focused? Okay, you can hear me, and now I've got me streaming up on my TV. Hi Lisa, how are you? Tell me, and I just muted myself on my TV. Things you forget. So we're going to use the high five stamp set, which I'm going to bring this over so that you guys can see this. And we've got one little cat that's, just posing like a cute little cat does. And then we've got this little one that's kind of the same pose, but has this, hand up saying, hey, high five. And then we've got this gigantic cat who's up on her hind legs and, waving her hand up in the air. That would be my Clara Bear. She's a ginormous Garfield cat, so I wanted to encompass her. So this stamp set is called High Five. So we've got High Five to a job well done, High Five to Jesus. Then we've got Reach for the Stars, we've got a little fish, we've got some cat prints, and we've got some stars in here. So lots of things that you can do for... Okay, does it still sound far away? Because I'm like right next to it, out of curiosity. But yes, it is a bad voice day. I mean, every day is a bad day. But anyway, we're going to be coloring these cats, and we're going to make a slimline card. So on our live on Monday, I had foiled this meow. This is one of our flashcards. And I cut this down to be a panel on a mini slimline. So I've already made the slimline panel, which is going to be 3.5 by 6.25, and then I just layered it up. So it's going to be a very easy design. We might zhuzh it up a little bit as we go, but for right now, anyway, yeah, we will kind of go there. The thing is that we're doing like a luncheon color, so I have been up working, believe it or not, since 5 o'clock this morning, which, if you know me, I'm not a morning person, so that's a miracle in itself, you know what I mean? Anyhow, it looks like we've got some other people on here if they want to, drop a comment in and say hello in the best Mrs. Doubtfire voice. I'm trying to decide what colors I want to use. Wire 2, 4, 2, 7. Okay. So I am using a Copic marker stand. Now, this one was made custom for me and for a friend of mine. But in the shop, you will find them in teal, black, white, pink, and purple. So if you have to have one so that you can organize your desk, that's where you can find these. So I'm going to start out with my darkest color, which is going to be my YR27. Hi Betsy, how are you? So this is like part 2. We did the cats on Monday. And what the amazing thing is I actually got online today and didn't struggle. Wow. I don't really know what happened the other night, but I was very frustrated. I do know what happened. I had gotten some bad news from a manufacturer, and it threw me for a loop, and then my life just didn't go well after that. So right now I am just tracing out the shadows. Move your card up 3 squares. Okay, she's killing me. So I'm not wearing my normal glasses. This is a different pair, and I don't have the same strength. So that's part of it. So on Monday we put our... Do you guys want to see the Monday card? We need to back up. I finished the Monday card, and if you remember, I just did some coloring, but I had foiled the dog and cat flashcard, and then I did the Chihuahua and the Labrador. And then off camera, I colored in this heart with the paw print, but as you can tell, I put it in a Polaroid, which is just from my stash. Added some, pattern papers, kind of wonky, and used the Thanks for Being My Best Friend. And I think it turned out super cute. And so, those flashcards can be used for more than just a card panel. You can cut them down to whatever you want. Here, it was into the shape of a square. All right, so now that I've done that, and I just ran over my big toe with the wheels on my on my chair. At least I didn't say anything that I shouldn't have. Wouldn't put it past me. If you know me, you know me. Yeah, that was an ouch. So I went kind of thick, like where the ear is, and I'm going to do the same thing on this left side, because I'm not going to worry about putting in multiple colors. So that's about as technical as we're going to get right now. Now you could go wild with these, and I might do that later on. That's why I started with the YR colors, and that's because you could go wild and you could put in all kinds of spots and stripes and all those things. I'm hearing you talk over yourself like there's 3 of you. Tell me, is that any better? Because Lisa had me turn up the volume. So now I'm using YR24. Sometimes you've got to disconnect and reconnect. Sometimes it's me. On my end, I have every microphone except for one turned off. So I'm thinking that it might be a tech problem. Like, not my tech problem, for once. Now I am going kind of thick with this YR24. Lisa, you said that you gotta love Joy's Lives. If you saw the equipment that I have in here, I have a really good microphone because my voice is so bad. I have a DSLR camera. I have a webcam. My speakers are all off. My TV's off. Everything is off. So I don't know what else would be picking me up except for the powers that be want to amplify all of my crazy. But it is very frustrating. So I left a little bit of white space next to the black line on his paw, and that's because I want to leave a little bit of room for bounce back light. And not that fur would actually have bounce back, but it's just something that we tend to do so that we can show differentiation between the parts, if that makes any sense. So I kind of put some curves into my cat because artists did not put one in. Not that that's a problem, but because I like them. Oh, Betsy, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that you weren't feeling well. I know that this stuff is... Oh, the husband. It's always the husband's fault. I know that they're saying all kinds of respiratory illnesses are going around. A lot of pneumonia and bronchitis, and I'm even hearing stomach bugs. I was starting to think maybe I had the stomach bug too. because I was kind of, yeah, but I found out it was one of my medicines, and I was having some other issues that that kind of were giving me an idea that it was maybe my medicine and not like a illness. Sharing is not caring in this place. Agreed. Agreed. Lisa nailed it. So I'm kind of filling him in. Now this technically is my highlight color, and I might, here actually I'm going to. So this YR24 is, I'm sorry, 21, I think it's a little bit too light. Here's my Y19. So we need something that's going to counteract that. And I think if we just bring in this YR23, and let's like fill that in a little bit. Normally I try to skip the YR23 so that I can, you know, have a few steps in there, but I think it's going to be the color that kind of gels this all together. I did check for COVID negative. You know, I was at CVS picking up some medicine yesterday, and it looks like there's like a 3-in-1 COVID test now. It's like the flu A and B and COVID, which, I don't know. Do we still need to test for all that, or do we just use our common sense and say, hey, I'm sick, and I'm not going to hurt other people? I mean, that's what, I don't mean to sound, I'm not being judgmental, but isn't that sort of what we did back in the day, where we kind of, you know, we all used common sense, and if we were sick, we stayed home and we didn't make other people sick? Like, what happened to that? You know, at least I have a Panda Bear sweatshirt by this, here. Can you guys see my shirt? It's this year, this one's the Tea Turtle. It's all of the, like Nightmare on Elm Street, the scary movies, because I was in a slaying kind of mood. But by the same company, they have a Panda Bear, and it says, can we just use common sense today? And it's the funniest, cutest thing. And if you could see like the look on his face, it's enough to make you pee yourself. But it is warm in my house today, so I personally did not want to wear a sweatshirt and a hoodie. But yeah, I sometimes have to watch what t-shirts I'm wearing when I go on lives, because you never know who you're going to offend, and in this day and age, we like offend everybody just by, you know, sneezing. It's definitely not the world that I grew up in. Not that what I grew up in was any better than it is now, but it's just, it's a different world. All right, now I'm going to bring in this Y19, and I'm just going to yellow him up a little bit. And I don't have to do that everywhere. It's just a nice way to glaze over and give a little bit of definition. Now, they were like, to begin with. Okay. I think the pandemic made people very selfish, only caring for themselves. What I noticed about the pandemic, and just call me dumb, but I think once we put the mask on, it gave a lot of people the permission to be the jerks that they've always been, but we didn't know that they were jerks, because, you know, when you have to put a face to a name, it's easier to be rude, right? But the minute, man, that you can put a mask on, you can say anything, do anything. It's kind of like the internet trolls. You know, I had one person tell me that I shouldn't be doing videos because of my voice, and it's what's really ironic about that is for years I didn't do videos. I had a YouTube channel way longer than I've ever gone live, and it's because I thought, who's going to want to listen to me? And there are a lot of people who don't, and I get it, but I feel like everybody has a thing to say, but the internet troll sucks. So I did have someone tell me that I shouldn't be on on YouTube and that I should just move on and find a different thing. And to be truthful, the amount of work that it takes for me to talk, it's a lot of work to be here, you guys. And I love sharing what I, like to do. And I think it's a shame that someone told me that I should that I should quit, Alright, so that was our cute little kitty. Man, it's crazy how that blows that out. Alright, so for some reason I want to do this little mouse. He's been he just tickles me. So I'm just going to use an R20. And I know a real mouse probably doesn't have a pink belly, but it makes me happy. And in Joy's world, I can do whatever I want to do, but I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not hiding. I'm not being mean. All I'm doing is making a mouse that maybe doesn't look like the mouse that you see running around in the fields, but it's cute. Don't stop being the awesome you that you are. Thanks, Lisa. You're a friend. You're a good friend, that's for sure. Okay, so I've got the C3 out. And I'm going to give him a shadow here under his ear. And I'm going to give him one under the belly and kind of the back side. And then right in the front of this ear where it kind of hangs over. I mean, this is not rocket science, you guys. This is such a small image. Just do what you can. If you can get one color in, if you can get two colors in, if you can get three, that's all that matters. I mean, we are here to have a good time. We are not here, to judge other people's art. And I just want to have a good time. So that was my C1. I am going to dot in a little bit of C2. Just to give a little bit more of a shadow here behind the ear. And then, you know what? I put my pink away, but I'm going to give him a pink tail because I think he needs one. Not that you guys are going to be able to see that on camera. Am I right? So, that's the mouse. He's too darn cute as far as I'm concerned. And then, I don't know. Let's do this big girl. And I said we might give some stripes and stuff later on. I just have to see if I'm in that mood. Okay. Am I still recording? If somebody could yell out to me, because I just got a nasty notification that my software stopped and then it reconnected. So you would think that where I live is in the middle of nowhere, but I'm telling you, you guys, I live like 15 minutes from Cincinnati. There's no reason why we should have connection issues or anything like that, especially when I'm home by myself and my husband's at work. So it's beyond me why this happens. Fine with you. Okay. It literally told me I disconnected. So again, I'm putting in some shadows. Now the artist left a lot for the imagination on this one. And my marker's getting ready to, it's overfilled a little bit. So I'm going to kind of take these lines and I'm going to feather them up a little bit. Kind of putting them in myself. And we're just going to give him some bulk. And then I am going to kind of feather in a little bit of this. And this is the W7. And I'm going to go real heavy under here. And then we're going to go here. We're going to finish this because we're giving it a lot of shadow as if the light was coming straight on. So like his belly would be the heaviest or the brightest part, less shadow. And we're going to give him a real big might cast shadow around his scruff. I keep looking at my marker to see if it's going to do something mean to me, because I think it's getting ready to. And let's give the paws some area, and then he's got some little wiggle lines. So you can see I'm kind of giving him some fur kind of built in. And he's also going to have some hair that's going to go this direction. So we're going to leave that alone for a minute. I'm being super careful, if you guys can't tell, because I'm afraid my marker's going to blob, and it would be funny if it happened to, like, online, because then you guys would watch me with one of the darkest colors in my collection to see how I fix it. And you know what? I do know how to fix it. There we go. So one thing that you'll also notice is that I've got paper underneath my image, and that's because these are alcohol markers, and as you color there's some ghosting, but they will start to like seep. So like this one, if we go back to the original one, you can see that. Well, if it gets too wet, it'll go onto your glass mat, and then every time you go over it with a lighter or darker color, you're going to pick it up and it's going to smear. So I always try to remember to put paper underneath, but you know, sometimes you do what I say, not as I do, kind of thing. Because, you know, not every time do I do it, but I really do try when I do videos to put a paper under it. Now normally I have like white paper, but I'm using the craft because with the lighting that I've got going on, because I've got way too many lights on. I've got my fan that's overhead on. I don't have the fan on, but I've got the light, and it really washes it out. So I've learned that if I use some craft or some gray, that you guys can see it better. So now I'm kind of rounding him out a little bit. Kind of giving her a belly, because in real life this cat really does have a belly. Clara, so I broke my own rule. And Clara has been going potty on my hardwood floors. Like, she'll use the litter box to do number one, but number two she's not so good at. She like steps out to do her business, so she got kicked out. She's got a heated house outside, so I don't need to hear the things. It stays like 60 degrees in her house, and it's inside my garage, so it's not like she's in the wind or anything like that. But she is in right now. She's taking a nap, I think, on my couch. So I do make sure that she goes outside at least every 3 or 4 hours when she's in here, because her and I would not be friends very long. Okay, so I almost went into the eye, and we need to talk about that. So the artist and I kind of went round and round about the eyes. And part of that was, that way she could be like looking up to the stars, like if you're reaching for the stars or for Jesus. Or you could just leave the white part in. You could like draw it in. So we're going to draw that in, because I've had this conversation with my team 1,000 times that leaving an eye like without any color, like lifeless, looks scary. So we're going to take our lightest color, which is a W1, and we're just following, we're like that football shape. We can go back in later and we can add more, but like I said, taking it away is way easier. I forgot the tail. You guys, you're supposed to be yelling at me when I do stupid stuff. Alright, so I'm going in with that W7. We're catching up. We're just doing basic blending. Alright, please give the video a thumbs up to help boost the Pajama Crafters channel. Hey, yeah, and subscribe. I'm so glad I've got some keyboard warriors, like the good kind, in here that can remind my people, because I am so bad at telling people to subscribe, like, comment, all those good things. Alright, so we're really building him in. We're going to the W3 now. Jana Marie Designs. Hello, hello. We're just giving him some color. He's going to be a gray cat, and we can like polka dot him and stuff like that later. But I'm just using some fine lines to feather the color in. And I need to go up this way. I'm going to kind of leave that a little bit on the white side. And we're going to start defining him. You guys, it's been a long time since I've colored this image. I'm embarrassed to say it kind of shows. And I think with being on the live, I'm not paying attention all the way. Alright, so does anybody know why I've left that belly really white? Because my girl has a really white belly. So we're sort of feathering that in. Now, in reality, Clara is the one that is more the butterscotch, but I'm coloring this to kind of look like her body type. Do you know what the swinging cat belly is? Yes, my girl, my Clara's belly swings like crazy. So I said that this was coloring in lunch. Where's my lunch? Never mind, I lied. I have a protein shake that's floating around in probably in the stock room at this point. But I have been, so I had breakfast like at 5 this morning. And then I forgot to eat. And then right before I came on here is when I went ahead and made a protein shake. So I drink the Melaleuca protein shakes, and my verdict is still out on those. They're supposed to be very healthy. They've got like 30 grams of protein in it, which is why I'm drinking it. It's for the protein, because I don't get enough protein. And, yeah. So I bought some chocolate. My problem with the Melaleuca one is it doesn't have a lot of flavor to it. So I bought some chocolate almond milk, the unsweetened, so I'm not adding a bunch of sugar and stuff to add to it. And it's better, but I don't love it. My favorite one is Premier Protein. And I know it's got some stuff in it, and I know there's going to be people that tell me that it's not the best one for me. I know! A girl likes what a girl likes! and I can't help it. And I'm trying to do these like healthier ones, but to be honest with you, if I'm not going to eat, stick to it because they suck. What's the point of even drinking them? So if I have to, have a little bit of aspartame in my stuff in order to, do the rest of the things healthy, then you know what? I'm picking my battles. So, and I know there's going to be like 1,000 people telling me how bad aspartame is. I know. I don't care. All right, so let's give her some polka dots. My one cat has spots all over her. So this is my mid-tone color that I'm polka dotting. That way, if it's easier to take away than that other color. I don't know what the heck I did here. I feel like... I don't know what I just did. I think I forgot to put some texture. It's almost like I drew like a rectangle there. I don't know. So now we're going to go in with the W3, and we're going to add some more stippling. PB powder. I hate that stuff. I know. I'm weird. I hate that stuff. Now my husband, he likes PB powder. First of all, I don't like peanut butter, so anything peanut butter flavored, I'm not going to go. And then like my friend was like saying, oh, buy the salted caramel. I hate my drinks to taste like caramel. I want them to taste like generic strawberry vanilla or chocolate. I don't know. I'm just that kind of girl. So what do you guys think? Is the texture helping? So a girl that I took, Jen Dove, to be honest with you, that's her name, who I've taken a lot of Copic classes from. She was, man, if you screw something up or you're not loving it, like get a terry cloth rag or a piece of a corduroy or denim and use some Copic, blending solution and just like give it texture. Texture always seems to be the win. Your gel pen, like a white gel pen, is really good for that too. So I'm basically working through all my colors so it's mottled, but we still have some texture. So I'm even using that W1 even over where I use the W5. Okay. So, to be transparent with you, I did not use my dies for this, and I do have dies. It would cut out that area where the tail is, so I will use scissors for that later on. So I always like to use an EO4 for the inside of the mouth, and you can even tint that a little bit with gray. So then it's not the same color as the tongue. And so I will start with an E20. And bring in that was an R20. Do an R21 and maybe do half of it that color. And for his nose, my cat's going to have a dark nose because I like it. Now we're going to bring in those eyes. It looks like a snow leopard cat. That's what I wanted to hear. Alright, we're going to use a YG03 and a YG17 maybe. And there's Gracie putting her 2 cents worth in. So if you're new here, Gracie is my cockatoo. And anytime she hears my voice, she wants to be with me. She just wants to be with me. So if she hears my voice and thinks that I'm giving somebody else attention, then she loses her mind. Now, so I put in that YG03, and now at the very top, on each side of the pupil, I'm putting dots of the YG17. And then I'm going to come back with that YG03, and that's probably really hard to see. What do you guys think? So, let's see if I can find my good fuzzy cutting scissors. That would be a negative. So I like the little Spellbinders fuzzy cutting scissors the best. You guys what those meant. Found them. So I like these because they're small, they're Teflon coated, so it just makes it easier. I'm very, very, very bad at this, and also I'm very zoomed in, so you guys probably can't even see me doing this right now. So I zoomed out a hair. I'm sorry if, giving you motion sickness by the zooming. I did buy a webcam that you can zoom in and out with a remote control. So I will probably fix that up in the next day or two, and so that way we're not using a camera that only has one focus. Or I can always use my phone. I mean, that would be a novel idea too. And I forgot his little paw, so I'm going to do his paw, the little pads, in E04. You could do RV95 or 93. I'm just using what's on my desk, so it's going to match kind of his mouth. Okay. Focus, focus. I'm working on it, man. Working on it. So we have this big meow. And so I'm trying to decide if I want the third cat. Do we want the third cat, or do we want to leave the third cat out? Because we're going to really lose the meow. I mean, we could color the third one, and then we could just say, and figure out what we're going to do later, and like make, a second card. I'll probably do that off camera. So the coloring is going to be really the same, no matter what we do, for this cat, kind of like what we've done. So what color would you guys like that cat to be? Do you want him to be a warm gray? Do you want him to be a brown? I'm kind of voting for a brown, like a E70 family brown. Yep. Black and white. Didn't the gray just work? Didn't the gray kind of? No, I already made up my mind. Pulled my markers. I'm sorry, Lisa. The black and white would be very similar to the gray. We would just add, darker spots in there. True. Okay, brown it is. I knew she'd agree with me eventually. All right, we're going to do this tail because I seem to be forgetting the tails. So kind of do like a little V shape there in the, where it meets with the bum. Lisa, when I talk to you later on today, remind me to tell you a story about a cat's bum that I read or I watched on a reel. If it is totally inappropriate probably for me to talk about, but it is enough to make you cry. Okay. I have to tell it, you guys. So this lady, I can't believe I'm doing this on my channel. This lady takes her cat, she's had him since a kitten, to the vet because she thought he had, I just can't. Oh, okay. So she thought that he had a prolapsed bunghole and was extremely worried about the cat. And so she's telling this story and she's like serious, you know, she's like very, very serious. And so she takes the cat to the vet because she thought there was a problem. She had never had a cat before and thought that it had a prolapse, which would not be funny. I mean, like, if it had a medical problem, it needs to be seen. So please don't think that I'm, you know, saying that the cat should not be seen. So I just drew in a little bit of his hind leg. So anyway, the vet checks him out, tries to keep a straight face. Says, no, his anal area looks just fine. He just has a rather large one for his size. And she goes, well, is there anything that we can do about it? She goes, it's even speckled, and I'm dying. Like, I can barely control myself as I'm watching this. And he goes, no, that's just the markings of your cat. You know, your cat's just perfectly fine. You should take him home and you should just love him the way he is. And I'm peeing myself. She goes, yeah, my cat's an asshole. He leaves pucker marks all over my house, on the windows, on the floor, on the desk, on the dining room table, on the counter. And she goes, yeah, he and his quote unquote prolapse can just suck it. And I was rolling. I was like, this person's keeping it as real can get. And I couldn't believe she was sharing it. And now here I am. But I mean, like, she said what we're all thinking. You know, we're all thinking that cats all have their little personalities, and I have one that's like super sweet. Her name is Penny, and then I have Hurley, who would kind of be like the cat I just described. He likes to open all my doors in my house. I didn't ever tell you guys. We have automatic locks on our doors, on our front door, because our Hurley, our black cat, he knows how to open every door in our house. So right before I started this live, I heard these loud noises. I'm like, what is going on? And here's Hurley. He's trying to break into my bedroom door because he wants to go sleep on my clean laundry that I haven't folded yet. And I'm like, no, you need to stop it. And he literally looked at me, tossed his head back and just started meowing at me. And then he proceeded to break into my bedroom as I was starting the video. And I'm like, you're a turd bucket, man. But I love him. He's, to be very transparent, he is my favorite cat. Like, you know, we all have our favorite something or other. He's my favorite. But that does not mean that he's good. I always tend to like the animals that aren't good. There's something sick and twisted about my personality. We're going to put that whole hind leg in shadow. And I'm going to bring in more of that feather. I'm going to have to do something like with some spots or something with a gel pen because I went too heavy up there. But it's fine. The joys of pet ownership. Yeah, sure. Lately there haven't been a lot of joys in it. It's been more like, you're killing me. So we leave for a show next Thursday. And the killer thing is the last show that we were supposed to go to, same company, same like the SSAT people. It was down in Texas, and we ended up canceling because of bad weather here, and because we were having to go through like Arkansas and Missouri and all that stuff to get to them. And we had made up the decision that how did I word this, or how did my husband word it? That our deductible on our car was more than what the cost of the show was to get into the show. So we made an executive decision that we weren't going to the show. And then ironically, Texas ended up having snow that same time. So the venue actually canceled it because they were afraid of people getting hurt and stuff in the parking lot. So the whole show was canceled. So yesterday it was in the 60s. It was glorious. I mean, it was like the best day in February you'd ever want to be in the Cincinnati area. And then I think on, what is it, Tuesday or Wednesday, where a polar vortex is, this is why you color with two caps off. A polar vortex is supposed to roll in and hit from like my area all the way to the eastern seaboard. And we're going to be driving in that to go to South Carolina. Now, when we get to South Carolina to Columbia, it's supposed to be 60s, 70s, but what we're going to drive through is going to be nasty. So, anyway. So, what I did was, since that thing spooched on me, I just took my colorless blender and I pushed it down into the shadow. And so you're going to see some modeling there, but this is a cat, so it's going to be fine. And the reason it spooched on me was this is not a color blend that I use on the regular. And and I just refilled my markers at this color anyway. So it decided to do ugly things to me. So how do you know when a spot is dry? Like if you've used your colorless blender, it's when you turn it over and it's no longer shiny. So you can see I actually pushed that color into the fibers of the paper, and that's perfectly normal. And then I'm just going to do a real quick, actually I'm not, I'm going to use a W1. So this E71 has like some reds in it, but it also has like a warm gray in it. And I kind of want his face to be semi-light. So I'm filling him in there, and I'm going to put some gray up in his ear. The rescue we got out all cats from is going to have a kitty kitten in the puppy bowl. Oh, I'm so excited for that. You're going to have to remind me which one that is, because I don't know that you've told me that story, Lisa, but I'm sure you and I are going to talk probably in about an hour and a half or so. Hopefully before Mike gets home. And I think we're going to call this done. So let's zoom in again. So for all those people that get nauseous, hold your horses. And that's the texture. And we're going to go in with that E77. And he's getting a dark nose too. Do you see how cute he is? Scruffy Animal Rescue. Okay. I'll be looking for him. considered going live the entire Super Bowl because I don't watch the Super Bowl. However, a friend of mine who also has a stamp company, she's doing an event, so I am not going to, and if you want to know who that is, it's Crafty Stamp Co. Her name is Christina. I think that they're doing a Super Bowl event all day, so you'll have to go to her website and see. So we're going to go ahead and pop this up because you know I love dimension on my cards. So I've got a big old roll of foam tape, which now fell on the floor. But we're going to go ahead and put this down. I'm very proud of Gracie, that's my cockatoo. She stopped screaming before I hit she only did that one little outburst. I'm really proud of her because normally she's crazy. And I'm sorry for any of those people that I offended with the cats behind comments. I'm so sorry. I just thought it was extremely funny that she thought that there was something wrong with her cat. So I'm using my crafter's wand. We used to carry this in silver, which is the one I'm using. We also have them in, the only ones that we have in the store now are rose gold, and we have them with the screw-on tops, and we have them with the lift-off tops. And if you want to know what that means, I'll show you here in just a second. So this one is a screw-off top, but the other ones, you just literally pull that out to replace. I don't think any one is better than the other. It just happens to be that this is the one I can find on my desk. I also have one that is the other way around, but it's hiding. So I also like to use my Barely Art glue on top of my foam tape because I have a hard time getting layers on straight. And I know I say this almost in every video, but it really is something that I do. It's just that I can have like 2 seconds of wiggle time, because if you put foam tape straight down onto your paper, it is stuck like Chuck for life, and it's not good. It's not good at all. So you can do that with any white glue. I missed the spot. Can you believe I missed the spot? Jeez. You can do that with any white glue. I just like Barely Art glue. And the reason I like Barely Art glue is because it dries clear and matte. So if you make mistakes, you're less likely to see it. So there's that. Okay. It just said that, oh no, that was a different. Scruffy Paws and me neither. Mike will be with his dad watching it. I have to go. The rose is so pretty. What rose? What rose are we talking about? Can we please cover those up a little bit? Lisa designed these little. Oh, he'd be cute like that. Oh, rose gold. Oh, they'd be cute up there. Here, I'll tell you what, he's going to go in the center, because I just think he's beautiful. I like him. I like him a lot. Even though I'm covering up the paw print, I just kind of want to start my design in the center. Is he too big? Come on, you guys. That's funny. He's like the whole size of the card. Ugh. Yeah, I like the rose gold too on the crafter's wand. Believe it or not, Lisa, we're getting kind of low on those. I'm going to go as low as I can with him so we can see a little bit of the rainbow. And I think the little mouse maybe can go there. Yep. Do we? Yeah, hold on. Not well thought out, you guys. I am flying by the seat of my pants. I think he's going to be the Lone Ranger with a little mouse on him. And the reason is because I like seeing the rainbow foil. That was the whole point of doing the foiling the other night. So now we can use a sentiment. Where's my actual stamp set? Okay. So again, I don't always have things planned. If you didn't know, I craft by the seat of my pants. Now, I just want to see, do we want? Nope, different card, different things. All right, we are going to use a piece of white cardstock. If I can get my hands on it. And we're gonna get my Misty. I'm gonna take all of these doodads out. You know I'm going to do another card with the big kitty. I don't color something and then not use it on a card. You know that that's going to happen. So I'm not going to do it here on the live, but I'm definitely going to do it after the live. So, all right, I need to be able to line this up. Give me just a moment. I'm going to be off camera. I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody. Just want to get it straight. And then I can bring it up here and do it backwards. Where's my ink? You can use any ink, any color that you like. I'm just using my favorite black ink. It's no longer available, or otherwise, I'll tell you it was. All right. There we go. I just needed to give that a little bit more pressure since it was right on the edge. So I'm getting out my Tim Holtz trimmer. Chop that off, and we're gonna, so I'm putting my paper on. So I line up the top of the E with the guide bar, and then I just chop it off. And I'm gonna go about right there. Now since I have popped up the layer, the white layer, I have got to pop up just this little edge of my sentiment, so that when it hangs off, it's level. Alright, let me take that pecker off. So again, I'm gonna use my Barely Art glue, even on the foam tape. Actually, the fact that I lopped it off isn't gonna make a difference because we're gonna tuck him under the cat, and we're gonna leave that little tail hanging off. Just want to get that straight, and we're good. So we could put like a little bow there. I don't think I have any black. I'll probably put a little black bow on that because I only have green over here. Do I? Yeah, my black twine is in a drawer up there. So anyway, we can go ahead, or we could just put, let's just do a heart, because I like the hearts. Where did I put the heart? All right. So I'm just going to use some clear doodads here. I feel like between the orange, the black, the rainbow, we probably have way more stuff than what we need. So I'm not gonna do, any like colored gems. I mean, if you like it, you are free to make your own card however you want. But that's how I'm doing mine. Now, if I was, I could have had this already and had all my gems like face up, so it'd be, easier. But why would we do such insanity? I always like to carry my gems onto like my images. So he's gonna get one on his tail. I mean, and so you'll see how that looks white right now, and that's because the glue is under it. When it dries, so you'll have to check it out on Instagram and on Facebook, you'll see that it dries clear. So I'm gonna pour this back into here. Now this is, these gems are my best friend, or no, girl's best friend, and those are on the website if you are interested in that. And look how we tied that in there. Now that doesn't look so silly. I love him. I just love him. So that will dry clear. And that's all I've got. So, what do you think of the Tonic Tim Holtz trimmer? Why are you putting me on the spot like that? I have bought it 3 times. Because I have dropped it a couple times and then have broken it. I like it for lives because it's the right size. I don't think it always cuts straight and sometimes leaves things wonky, but I think a lot of that is user error too, because 1, I'm very rough on my tools, and 2, you have to have you also have to hold that really still, because I mean, with any guillotine, anytime you slice, you start to wiggle that paper, and you get off like a hair. So you have to really pay attention. I don't really pay attention that much, so yeah, that's it. I can't believe it. The one that I colored last is the one that I'm using. But these are the other cats, in case you're wanting to see them, and you'll see these on more cards. So we covered how to do some texture, how to color in the eyes. We saw a lot of things not to do, but this is a real, this is alive with joy. So it is what it is. So I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go find the rest of my protein shake so that I can get all that goodness in. I know it's supposed to be good for me. I don't love it. I'd rather have a chocolate cake. So anyway, I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.